Hey everybody, PixsiStixs here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are in the beautiful island world of Sulani, working on a less than 100 tile tiny home on the lagoon look. Um, we I originally started this lot as like a little beach shack. It wasn't going to be overly expensive. I think I was going to make it a starter home. It ends up a little more expensive than a starter home. I want to say the final price on the lot is like 23,000 simoleons. I'm not entirely positive. So it's about 3,000 more than a typical starter home. If you really did want to use it as a starter home, you could probably remove some of the value of the lot by going in and taking out some of the decorations that I put in. Because I know I use some of them that are a little more on the expensive side. So if you were just to go in and get rid of like the clutter and maybe downgrade some of the appliances, that would probably put it right around the budget for your typical starter home. But yeah, it kind of escalated away from what I originally intended it to be. I just wasn't it wasn't the vibes I was feeling that day. I just wasn't feeling it the way I would have liked to. Um, so I did end up changing it. All I really knew coming into this is that I wanted big, beautiful windows. I wanted scenic ocean views, and I wanted it to be very peaceful and calm feeling. Um, I also built it because it's really, really hot here, um, and all I can think about is the pool and the beach. Neither one of those things are things that I can go to right now. The beach is a little too far away, and I think the only pool that I have access to really is my dad's pool, and I don't know how clean it is right now, so I don't even know if my dad's pool is something that would be an option. Um, so I was like, you know what? It's hot. I want to go swimming and I can't. So we're gonna build a beach house in The Sims, and I'm gonna build this house. I'm gonna play with a sim for a little bit, and I'm gonna pretend that I get to go swimming because I can't right now. Um, so that was kind of the inspiration for the house. It's really hot here. Like I don't know what it's like where you live. I know it's been kind of hot in the rest of the country. I don't know exactly when this I don't know exactly when this build is going to come out, and I know that some of the country is expecting snow in September, which is a little weird. But I was reading a news article on it today. So if it's really cold where you live, perhaps the ocean vibes will warm you up. Um, if it's still really hot where you live, like it will be where I live, um, perhaps thinking about the water will cool you down like it did for me. Um, so yeah, right now in the video, I am desperately struggling to try and figure out how to put these windows in, um, because I knew I wanted big windows. I knew I wanted beautiful, picturesque, scenic views from the windows. I, however, did not know which windows I wanted to use. I did kind of play with the ones from Island Living a little bit when I first started, because, like I said, I started wanting to build a beach starter hut kind of thing. And those ones don't have like window panes, they're just open windows. But then it kind of moved away from that vibe into something a little more modern, a little more polished, a little less cheap. Um, I did try to put a staircase in because I don't like ladders. I mean, I do like ladders, don't get me wrong. And I was super excited when we got them in the game. But now that we can turn stairs and stuff around, I love stairs. I love using stairs because they're not just one straight up and down shot. And the thing about ladders is like there's some drawbacks to them. Like your Sims can't carry anything, and I had originally intended to put laundry on this slot, but you have to like have your Sims pull it out of the hamper, drop it on the floor, put it in their inventory, take it downstairs, pull it out of their inventory, put it in the laundry, and blah blah blah. It's a pain in the butt, basically. Um, so I wanted stairs, but the stairs don't quite fit. Um, if I could have done stairs if I had done a tinier bathroom. But I don't like doing teeny tiny bathrooms. I already feel like a 2 by 3 bathroom, which is what I typically do, is kind of on the small side. It is just big enough to fit a bathtub shower combo and a sink and a toilet. And I already feel like that's kind of on the smallish side. Like, I feel like that's a normal size bathroom, to be honest. Like, if I look at the bathroom in my house right now, it's about the size of this one. I got a shower tub combo, I've got a sink, and I got a toilet, and that's about all that's in my bathroom. There's not much more space in that. So to me, that's like usually the bare minimum bathroom size that I do. But because I wanted that, there wasn't room for stairs, because if I'd put stairs, there wouldn't have been room for furniture. So we went with a ladder instead. I also struggle with this. I don't know what was happening here, but there's this weird thing that happens occasionally with foundations where you'll have one little section that just doesn't line up with the other sections. And I was having that issue. I tried to fix it with a porch. I decided I didn't like the front porch on it. Um, I so I think I and yeah, I end up covering it with plants. When I go to do the landscaping, I made sure it was kind of camouflaged with some bushes and stuff so you don't really notice it, because no matter what I tried with the foundations, it just wouldn't go away. There was no getting rid of it, which, sometimes with the Sims that happens. There's not a lot you can do about it. Sometimes the foundation is just messed up, and you can either hide it with bushes or hide it with a tree. Pro tip, learned that from little Simsy. You don't like it, hide it with trees. Um, or you can not put it on a foundation. And because I wanted this dock in the back, not putting it on a foundation really wasn't an option. So I went the little Simsy route and I covered it with a bush and some trees. So um, that did happen. There's not a lot. I mean, I it's so funny because before I started actively watching Simmers on YouTube, I I would rebuild the whole house over something like that. Like I didn't I didn't start watching Simmers on YouTube for a little while. I didn't even know speed builds were a thing until like maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Um, so before I would just demolish the entire lot and start over when it wouldn't work the way I wanted it to. Because I don't know why it never occurred to me to just hide it with the bushes. I don't know. It seems like such an easy basic answer looking at it now. Um, but past Pixie was like, well, it's not working. Forget the whole thing. Delete it all. So I have changed the inspiration on the house. At this point, we are no longer going for a beach shack. Um, we're going for something a little more upscale, a little more modern, a little more on the expensive side, though still kind of cheap for what it could have been. Um, but I just kind of updated a little bit. I think the flooring I use is from Pets. I matched the foundation and the walls, so there was a little more variation because it is just kind of a box. And I try to avoid boxes for the most part. I did try to fit it in a skylight. It did not work the way I wanted to, so we don't end up with a skylight. I think I just put the roof back the way it was because it just wasn't working. I wanted it to be a little more interesting, but I couldn't. There were some struggles with this build. I was hot, I was tired, I had to work that day, so I just said forget it to a lot of things. The kitchen is really tiny. It's kind of awkwardly laid out, but it was really the only space I had for it because I didn't want the living room in that little nook right there. Like I kind of built that nook thinking about the kitchen, like specifically thinking about, oh, this big window over the sink and things like that. So it does end up a little awkwardly placed, but all of the counters are usable. I always I you'll see me playtest a few times in the middle of the build. I like to make sure my builds are functional. If I ever do a lot that's not functional, I'll let you know. in the speed build usually like I'll be like, hey, this lot, this thing's for show. But for the most part, all of my lots, I like them to be functional. I do play the game too. I haven't done a Let's Play yet because I'm not sure how entertaining I will be with a Sims Let's Play because I feel like you have to have a lot of entertainment value for Let's Plays to not be boring in The Sims. If it's something you want me to do, let me know for sure. I'll give it a shot. But I do play a lot in my free time, and I like to make sure that the builds that I build are going to be functional. If I ever were to decide to put a sim in the slot and play here, I want it to function. All of the lots that do go into my save file, I want those all to function because those are things that I want to put out there for you guys to download eventually, where you're going to download this save file and be able to actually play in the game. Um, I haven't decided if this one's going to go in my save file yet. I think it's just going to depend on what the vibes I go for in Sulani are. Um, because like I'm still working, I'm trying to do the save file one world at a time. I don't ask me why I started with Strangerville. That was just where I had the inspiration. So we're working on Strangerville right now. We still got a couple lots in Strangerville to do. So I'm not entirely sure what the vibes for Sulani will be. So I'm not sure if this will make it into the save file. It is, however, on my gallery. My gallery name is the same thing as my YouTube name. It's just PixsiStixs. So even if it doesn't end up at even if it doesn't end up in the save file, if you do want to download it, if you do end up liking it and want it in the game, it's on the gallery. Um, and also my save file is months out. It's gonna be a while. I'll probably release it in stages. I think once I get done with Strangerville, I'll probably release the first version of it, and then we'll move on and we'll do the next world, and I'll release that version, and so on and so forth. I'll probably the next world I do will probably be one of the base game worlds. Um, so yeah, right now we're just kind of. I know I've done a lot of talking and not really paying attention to the video. I've just kind of been talking. Right now we're just kind of working on the living room. It's so tiny. I originally wanted a couch in here, like a little love seat, and I just couldn't find one that I liked with it. So I do end up going with these chairs. I think from are those from Nifty Knitting or are they from Tiny Living? Those are from Nifty Knitting. Those are the Nifty Knitting chairs. So I do end up going with those because I felt like they had the best colors. I use this brown rug everywhere, and I wanted to put lots of like tropical-esque plants, or at least plants that I felt looked a little more tropical inside. But I kind of imagine that like I feel like this might be a rental home, and I kind of imagine that like they're not real plants. They're probably like plastic plants. So but they're kind of everywhere to make the place look nice. I did put a bookshelf. I think the only thing I don't put in this slot that you kind of need to play the game is like a laptop or a computer or something. Though you could easily get a laptop and put it on that dining table that I put over in the corner, and then you'd have everything you need. Or you could just go to a library lot. There's always computers on library lots. So yeah, really the only thing that you don't get with this lot that you would like need to live in it is a computer. But I feel like there are a lot of alternatives, so I wasn't too concerned about putting a computer in here. I considered putting a desk upstairs in the bedroom, and then decided that I kind of like the TV was honestly more technology that I wanted to put in this slot because it when I go, if I'm thinking beachy vacation, I'm ignoring the TV. I'm ignoring the computer. More than likely, I'm gonna try and only pull my cell phone out for like pictures. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to. I just didn't want to put a computer on this lot. It just didn't make sense to me. You've got this gorgeous, beautiful private beach, and you're gonna be on a computer. But I guess if you were to like live here, having that kind of technology might be a must. I also didn't put any kitchen cabinets in. There really aren't any that go with these island living counters. So, and I couldn't find any that I liked that worked well. I thought about using like ones with the glass dishes that you could see and just changed my mind on it. I feel like, like if I don't know. If you were being realistic about it, there probably wouldn't be a lot of dishes on this lot. It's only like one or two people, so they probably have it tucked away into one of those corner counter cabinets. Um, so yeah, like I said, the kitchen is functional. I don't clutter it up so much that your Sims can't cook here. If you do end up having any issues with the clutter, just delete whatever is on the counter and then they'll use it no problem. But there shouldn't be anything like that. I'm pretty sure I left most of the clutter in like the one corner, so they should be able to use at least the side next to the stove, if not both. I feel like they should be able to use both. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. But like I said, if you're having any issues with it, just go ahead, go in, delete the clutter. It won't be a big deal. It's so tucked away in the corner, it doesn't really change too much of the vibes or the mood of the lot. Um, Moving on upstairs, I wanted again for it to be very simple, very basic, very like relaxing feeling. I went through a couple different beds before I finally found one that I liked. Um, I actually don't think I've ever used this bed before, and it just was speaking to me this time. It seemed very relaxing, very calming. So that's the one I went with. Um, but I just put some basic stuff. Like I think I put a dresser and a chair and table, and like a lamp. There's not a lot up here. You probably could fit an easel where I put that mirror, to be honest. And then you would have like a way for your Sims to make money pretty easy if they were living on this lot. Um, but I see there was me trying to put a desk. But I liked the mirror. Like I said, I picture this as like a vacation lot. I don't really picture this as something where my Sims personally would live. Because it's so tiny. I'm not a big fan of my Sims living in the super tiny homes because I get bored with them so easily. Um, but I know some people do. So I just wanted to build a little beach shack because it's hot. I also don't think I end up putting a rug upstairs because it's kind of an awkwardly shaped space, and I couldn't find a rug that totally fit. I didn't even know we had this little beach picture, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Um, so I went ahead and used that beach picture. Um, I think we're kind of getting a little more towards the end. It's just like little clutter and things now. Like I put a plant on the end table and the lotions on the other end table, and I did I think I do put my landscaping in. I'm not the greatest at landscaping. It's not my forte. I am trying really hard to get better at it though. If any of you have any like tricks or tips or any ideas of how I can get better, or any YouTubers you like to watch that you feel like might be beneficial to me, might be really good at landscaping, please comment. Please let me know. I watch a couple people who I really enjoy watching, and they're all pretty good at it. But like, I am always looking to find new YouTubers and looking to learn and get better at this so that in the future I can bring you big beautiful, awesome builds. This is just me landscaping. I think I did use some debug items for the landscaping to try and cut down on the cost a little bit because I did notice it was getting a little more expensive than I wanted it to. That and the debug plants are just sometimes so much better than the plants that we actually get in the game. If you ever want to find those, it's bb.showHiddenObjects and bb.showLiveEditObjects. And that gives you all of the plants and the foliage and things like that that they use in the worlds. They're not the highest quality because they're meant to be like a background. But honestly, some of them are better than what we get in game. Like there are some of the plants that I like so much more from that debug menu than I actually like from our actual items menu list. I'm just finishing up a little bit of the landscaping here. I put some pull floaty toys out, and I think that's pretty much it for the build. Here are our screenshots. If you enjoyed the build today, if you like listening to me ramble, please do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.